Okay, then what do we do? I've together with Rick, we do a lot of training camps, workshops. Everywhere we try to give our ideas, our advice, our experiences about the sport. A lot of our activities we promote on Instagram. You can watch or follow our Instagram to see what we have done or what we will do in the future. Over the years, we started already many years back about organizing camps because it's so much fun to train together and to share knowledge together and the steps you make in all those camps. Then actually the foundation and the ESP Skate Boulevard is founded by my older brother Jacques with his fellow teammates. And we passed it in the way of, okay, we are not only participating in the sport, but how can we contribute or how do we take more position in the sport to stay active in the sport? A lot of talented people around are missing the sport on the end because, yeah, they need to work, the other things are coming, but we don't want to give up the sport. But okay, we have talents, we have work attitude to do something. So in what way we can make ourselves useful and keep doing it? I liked also the story of Nolan Bejaf, who said, okay, I will do coaching. Then he can do his passion of skating and coaching. And yeah, if it's given to do that together, it's a really nice way of keep doing what you love. Um, we help with education programs. We try to support wherever with innovations. There's also the story how I came with Luca. Like, okay, we want to improve our tournament and we want to extend the Arena Geising International and maybe, yeah, we can have some days behind or the day after the analytics of the sprint or the points race or the elimination. But maybe we can do it more in a football way that if we automate processes and we start writing scripts or anything in the future way, it's a really far way of thinking, but maybe we can directly after the points race, we can talk with analysts and we see how the points were taken, how the speed has developed over the race. And that's the way I went to Luca. Like, hey, you do cool things, you can make data alive, and we want to integrate it, or what can we do and make things bigger? So I have also other partners or parties I go to talk with. Also, I still like to do participating the races, but when it's given, I'm not trained fully focused on it, but it's still a passion and interesting to try to beat the other ones. Then currently I'm working full time for Arena Geisingen. I've moved here. I've met my love, Juliana Trotjes, and at the moment Ortiz. And I've studied biomedical sciences. I don't do a lot with my study, but the way of questioning, the way of try to develop the product or try to find the science behind or developing the training camps and the workshop we do, I feel a lot of things off the back of the study I did. I'm loving competition. Okay, and I'm having a twin brother, so some people it's hard to understand the difference between me or my twin brother Rick on the track. We have different skates and probably more differences, but for me it's not difficult. Okay, then about the sport. The sport is, yeah, you can make nice pictures, we can do big races, but how do we bring it back to the audience? Because the sport is a picture like this. Also, you have the Berlin Marathon. It's not only racing through the streets of Berlin with a group of speed skaters, but it's a really big event. And how do we organize more? Because those people, they also need to know that we also do speed skating on the track, which is really attractive to watch and good to organize. Also, we have youth competitions. So everywhere there's competitions, but how do we bring the message and how do we involve more people and let them start with maybe the future idea of being a top skater or just become fit and have fun. So it's all about building the product. What do we as participants of our sport, we as skaters, we love it. We don't have to convince each other anymore. in the sport, but we want that the sport is not only a place for us, but we want in the wider circle also that the family wants to stay. And if I think most of the people experience like, yeah, they like it too. It's also starting to be a passion of them too. And oh yeah, the races are nice. And you go to a race, yeah, firstly they don't think about it, but also all the trainings and you start doing more. So the love or the purity of the sport is a good thing, but we want to have it wider. That you try to spread more people, infect more people with the inline skating virus. So we need to have more a product. We need to have cool videos, and if you have really cool videos, we can send it on the socials or we can spread it wide so more people are interested to watch some live races as a spectator or watching the live stream. And eventually, if we have just a really cool sport, although we are Olympic or not, but if the sport is, if you come to, for example, Arena Geising International, you're totally new and you come and you get like a flyer and you know, okay, these races are coming and this is the race style. And we can make from the first moment the sport engaged, the people engaged to our sport, then we do a really good job and we can keep them coming. So yeah, the about the sport of inline speed skating, we have a really yeah. Everybody knows rolling, speed skating, or yeah, that you can make competition in that. Worldwide, there are plenty of skates being sold. If it's quad skates or roller skates, but mostly almost all the people have been skating once in a lifetime, or they see the effect of the sport. But how do we get them further? If you look at how internationally or how cool, how urban the sport is, it's having all the facets of taking the big cities into speed skating. So if you look for family, it's you can do it with the youngest of the family. You can go to a club, and at the same time also the parents can even skate. In theory, if the support is there, but you can have big training groups. Also, the training groups or the races is always with girls and with boys. It's totally different if you look to football. You have always a boys team and you only compete with boys teams and you don't never train with the girls. The environment of the club is really you start somewhere, you grow. It's like a kind of a social school. If if you look at an inline skating club, so there are a lot of possibilities about the training, the education. Is as a coach, you have a role. As a coach, you can make the difference. The way you learn, the way you write your schedules or you plan your trainings, the way you listen to your athletes. But also, it's for them a part of performing. They start to learn with the nerves, of the anxiety of performing, the social development, how they use their athletes or the fellow athletes to training partners to get to a higher level. Although it's an individual sport, you do it together. And also the cognition. This sport, you use your all your senses. You some people they really learn from listening. Some people really learn from feeling the sport. Some people learn over a lot of experience. But this sport is interesting to do together, to pass on, to stay connected to. It's totally different than maybe if you are just a cycling coach, or you're like a football coach where the team, yeah, some people are not interested in the teamwork, some people are laying back, but in inline, you need to learn all, and it's all coming back in the inline training. But not only the inline trainers are happy, also the physical education teachers. They always inline athletes are always fit. They're always well trained, widely trained. So the sport, the product is from the basic on really good, but we are missing things. We are missing something like this that you make the UC championships, the Champions League, or we are missing like Formula One, that we bring the data back to the athletes or back to the audience, the people who watch the live stream or even television. that the people they know what kind of race it is. And of course, it will help if you're Olympic. There will be money, but there are a lot of things we can just do together in finding us together. And also, I will talk today about cyclocross, how an example of cyclocross can help us in thinking how we can promote our sport, how we can enhance our sport. So I have a list of things I would like to talk about today and giving ideas of how we can approach our sport different. First, about the race quality. Um, we we try to approach a more precise program in Geisinger or the races I organize because I think it's really important that we propose a schedule, we make a preliminary schedule, and that we try to keep it. That inline races, yeah, you go to a race and it could be that you're finishing at 5, but maybe at 6 or maybe at 7. Or if you want that people are planning in 2025 and you come to a race, probably people have afterwards an appointment or they need to plan more. So we need to be wisely with the time. And if there are no occasions, then the schedules will be the schedule. So this is from ice. They're really precise with ice skating. It's working really fine with the ice preparations. Luckily, we don't have that. But I tried to push, for example, Arena Geising International of last year that we try to have more accurate times and we keep tracking of the schedules. So also the people in the live stream, they can tune in at the right moment. Okay, this moment, and then this program is in front. But it's not what we only see. But I really try to put mathematics behind it of making the schedule more accurate. And from these mathematics and these proposal, I can learn so we can do the next year even better. And it's also part of training with the referee, part with the organization, that we get a step ahead, that races are right in time, that athletes are totally fine with the preparation they do as professionals, that also professional television companies or everybody can see the worth of the sport and can make their own part of it. Then it should be part of the quality is also we can think and in the future is like how we see with short track how they organize the penalties, the disqualifications, the warnings that they put in the live stream in the television. They put like every penalty or every mistake the athlete makes. They say, okay, this kind of penalty, so it's clear for the analyst, it's clear for the commentators which action was in which corner, which move, and that help the communication. It will also help to make the sport more clear that data analysts or future analysts they can overwatch the judge decision. The judges can improve, but also we can discuss it more maybe on the online forum. What do you think of this? And it's the same way of the other mistaken. So that's an interesting part of short track. What I think is needed for us to improve our experience of our sport. Then also what is part of the spectator experience and the quality of the race is we need to look at the programs we provide. We need to look at how we build momentum in the races. That we have the seniors, we have the best of the best, or everybody would like to have seniors, but also we have younger athletes. But that we are not having a live stream big senior race and then after we have B finals or we have just in between kids races. Now, if you want to have the audience, you want to have the public coming to your live stream for 2 hours, 1.5 to 3 maybe, and that they are watching and they think, okay, this is something I look up to, and in the end is the big show and the big race, like a boxing game, and then you go satisfied home. And not that after a long day of qualifications, there's like somewhere final, and then the final has been happened. So it's also you can feel the energy in the audience. We tried to do last year with Arena Geising International to build up the program more with highlights and to make Saturday evening and Sunday afternoon, like the part of the big races, the biggest races even, because not that the other races are not interesting, but yeah, we have to decide. And we want to create trust. If the spectators feel I can watch on that channel, I can watch at that time, I can see those athletes racing because I know the start list, I know that there is commentary to attract me to the race, then people will start coming back. Then people will show up at the race even, and that will be good for the event. And this is something, an example I see in the Netherlands with ice skating. It's organized really well in the Netherlands. The facilities for the audience are really good. It's organized by a sport eventing company, but it's just an experience just to go to watch ice skating and having a full white of tee off. And eventually, I would have even think that's better than most of the football matches or kind of fair games. Then also another thing was only possible with planning wise and organizing the structure really well is the Formula One Grand Prix in Zandvoort, the Netherlands. We had never had it, but okay, we had the unique situation of Max Verstappen. But that they start, okay, we can organize the event. There are a lot of problems, but if we do wisely with side events and the full program, then we can attract a lot of spectators, and then we have a budget to organize this event again in the Netherlands. But you need to be really professional, or you need to copy a lot of things of other sports before you just start this project. So the spectator experience again. So the live results, the start list, everything should be available. People have to know what they watch. You have to look how we can enjoy them more, how we can keep them more and longer nicely on the track with the music, the food, eventually a show. The last years we tried to implement more and more in Geising a show. That's something special, something an energy there in the arena. Also, I try to do with other events I organize, and that we organize a main program versus a B program, and it should be good if you organize side programs like music or like outdoor stands and things that is not only watching a race, but it's like the Berlin Marathon from picking up the race number till the closing party. It's all big experience. So that's how we can grow the value of the event and for the spectators. Okay, that's the first part. Also already done the spectator experience. And then about the broadcasting or making more show. Um, if you look at Olympics or the last years, there's more and more presentation of the athletes, presentations of the future stars or the already the big guns. And last year we also tried in making the sport bigger in arena with making like a promotion wall and that the athletes, the gladiators are entering the track and playing with the light. This year we have in Arena Geising the new light system, so we can even do more fast. Also, we have to look. That's also where I reached out for Luca. But how can we implement more data to the audience that they see the changes? It's more nicely to just put it on big television, put all the names, make it clear. Track cycling is the part we can learn from, although they have big difficulties as well because of the same type of sports. But and last year, for example, we've already made an improvement of Arena Geising and Next Gen. That we have an extra event, so we have more chances to learn and to improve. We can display the data nicely and more interesting. Then a thing is of the broadcasting, and we need to look in our sport is okay. We not only need to show the sport, but also we need to talk about the sport. We need to have new people watching our sport, and having analysts. So last year we also tried to put more analyst time and try to have different interviews and to start with that and try to increase in that. And if we can make a full television show, then more and more we have a product to sell and to engage more people in the outer circle. Then professional growth is how we have to promote a sport is the more like guys like Luca, they say, okay, I will try to go full time for inline speed skating. I will try to contribute to the sport and putting more information in the sport and try to put the bar higher or make the information wider, etc. That will increase our product and all the clubs, all the young participants, everybody can improve if we can extend our shell or we can have more professionals working every day to improve this. For example, is also the inline track series last year. It's also a nice thing where I hope young athletes are watching, and I truly believe that I think, okay, inside of the peloton, and this is where I want to go. This is what I want to show as well. So it's not that I say we don't need club structures because we cannot go without. But if we try to do everything cheap and everything for nothing, or we try to organize events only from volunteer based, it's really hard to find the next level. And we don't have to look always to the costs of what are the professional costing, but we have to look more in the value. What are they contributing? And not only today, but if we give them time and they start giving back products or services, ideas, then maybe we can move the sport over 3 years, over 5 years in a faster way. So I would like to mention that, and also on the training camps, or we try to put people in power of using their talents to help our sport and not going for another job too soon, too quick. So then how to attract more sponsors or how to be a more interesting event is also, yeah, we have to look at impact. You have to, yeah, the trust I already mentioned. What kind of tournament you do is that, yeah, it cannot happen that it's happening ways after the time. I know last year and at the Dutch Championships, yeah, the program was 2 hours too late, and then all the snack and all the restaurant or the catering was already stopped because the planned time was over. Yeah, then next year you think, oh, I will not visit anymore. But no, you want that people are coming back and they feel trusted or they feel respected. That I think works fine. And if you have good sponsors and you can keep them friendly or you can expose them well, it can be a catalyst to organize even bigger things in the future. No, I would like to watch some Belgium cycling. Is how they organize every year bigger, better, and greater the Tour of Flanders. And of course, the money is totally different. It's also a really hard sport because they have to do it on the open fields. They have to do it on all public places. It's not like a football stadium. You can improve and work on it the whole year, but still they have a budget model to do it. They have all the media and to make like a really nice um, broadcasting. And even if you have it really well organized, you can even give more spectator or more VIP lounges or improve the product more. And that will improve the budget and that will improve the impact for the athletes and the full sport. Last year, I've been to Zurich World Championships in Switzerland, and there also you see the big difference of how they organize a World Championship cycling compared to an inline skate championship with all the commentator, all the live the broadcasting, all the analytics, all the countries to bring the message home. and how they have the promotion of the athletes. But to be more clear, or to have a smaller step to inline speed skating, it's more interesting to watch to cyclocross, a sport mostly famous in Belgium, the Netherlands that do it, in parts of France. It's not really international, but if you look how they create product, how they make value to the public, it's amazing that how they do it. And there's some a list that they have the cyclocross. They create interesting sport with an interesting circuit. That's the first part. Some technical elements, some physical elements, some elements where they are close to the public. So it's interesting to race and interesting to watch. And that's maybe already a big thing we can learn for the World Skate Marathon Tour, is that we have to create an interesting parkour. We have to have an interesting race for the athletes, because only skating straight ahead and straight ahead back is not making the race more interesting. Then we have to create emotion. We have to create the athletes, that we start knowing them. We start knowing how they act, or what kind of race style or strategy they have. So people start talking. People start choosing sides of which athlete they want to support, and then the public. That the public is having the services they need, that they know when they have to arrive, and then you got a product. But that's only possible if you have professional organizers, which having the money, and if they put it to broadcasting, they can also find the circle with sponsors. But cyclocross is having limitations in what we hope to don't have with inline skating. Inline speed skating is that the training, you need specific trainers and material, and most of the training is from race to race. And if you are a cyclocross rider in India or in China, it's really hard to find the knowledge, what they learn in practice on the track, on the place, in mostly Belgium, from good trainers. So there's also the need of good trainers to help. And it's a really costing sport. The material, you need to have several bikes, spare bikes. You need to have people who support with the traveling. So those challenges you have to try to keep small for inline speed skating, that everybody is available to have the good material and the good training courses, the good trainers, the training camps. Also part why I organized together with my brother the training camps, that more athletes from small clubs, small countries can have a time where they can train the group practice, the group technique, find some different information than they find at home. And maybe they can even be future coach at home because of integrating in the international connections, what we give them. So attracting new audiences. You also have to look the time. But new audiences is that we want to have proud athletes, and that's also we like to see in Arena Gasing International, that people are proud to participate, that they send a message home that they are participating, that they show some pictures or the feeling, and that they share their love, share the speciality of the sport. And we need to be consistent in the races we organize, in how we share the sport on which channel. So we need to have like a YouTube channel or a place where you can watch it. Not every world championship we change from place. We need to have a high value content, more and more photographers or people make small reels and they can put it in the socials where you can see the emotion really nice and the speed of our sport, and that together will be the marketing to tell new people in the club like, hey, this is what we do, and this is where you can train for. This is the why you have to material. You have to convince the parents to maybe buy 300 euro skates, 400 euro skates. But if you tell them like, yeah, this is the training we can do. This is how we do it, and this is the yeah how the sport is looking. Then everything is more in perspective. So then we move to professional growth. Um, to is already said before, but to have more information about the sport, to put a different layer of of our sport, we need more people working on the product, and that means also that we don't want to have people who are just only doing it as a hobby, but people who attend more races, people who bring up the data every time after each other, and do also the Versmaken companies, or they it's costing, but if they bring back, it will be really good. So of course, Olympic money or Olympic champion games will be good, but we can better pay more professionals than we only pay the wheels and the travel costs. And then we go to organizer support. If we want bigger competitions, we want to have more broadcasting, more big athletes racing each other. If we want to raise the level or the quality of the sport, we need a good stadium for that, or need a good track. Next year, the World Championships are in China. In China, there are several covered tracks, or even stadiums, you can call it. In Europe, you have like Arena Geisinger, but it's having a price, it's having a cost. Also, the people there, they need to prepare it, they need to know it some years ahead, they need to find difficulties and have challenges in organizing it every year better. They have a certain budget. We wanted athletes like Nolan Bejaf, who's now competing the World Skate Marathon Tour, that they have a certain prize money so they can keep inspiring, keep traveling around the world. And we want to have a budget for professional services because everybody has a demand, and we need to look how we see the future model or the future plan of organizers organizing the big competitions and all the athletes, and maintaining the facilities well, that we don't face that we have 2 weeks before a big championship a totally new track. No, we want to have time to prepare, time to discover, time to have testing, and etc. And that's part of the weaknesses of our sport, and we need to get more of it. Then data and analytics. If we have data, as mentioned before, we can make a difference in the training. It's not only a group of people training around. No, we can give them technical insights. The competition, we can make more interesting of strategy and how to evaluate. The socials, we can look ahead of the season, but also we can look back at the season. So a big race, a competition is not only living in the weekend, but we can see it more widely. That's all what data can help us. We use analytics or data or science in our training camps and our workshops. Try to help them every time we try to innovate our product or our presentations, that we can tell them something new. We try to stimulate them to think themselves as well. And we are happy that more and more over the last years are as we seeing more players in the field of data and analytics, as Roller Results, who's making a big job of putting all the history of skating in one website. Speed Skating Data is having a different insight. Target sport analysis, they take the chance, and even we will see more in the future, we hope, of people putting their light on our sport. Here are some things also to mention on the Petzold with roller results that is more accessible, more easy to reach out previous results of races. And it's not like a challenge of finding an athlete just hidden in a PDF file, something in the backside of the internet, or if the website changed, then the PDF files are lost. Then I will move to the last part of the points of the list is the side events. How can we organize an event, a race, where we not only have the biggest racing, but we try to increase the impact, that we have more people participating in our race, or that we have, yeah, for example, that we not only having a sport event, but like in the cycling competition, we also have like a concerts, more music, more music or dance groups, or even different displays, or we can display the results well and directly after the race, and in the start list in front that we can do sport betting. There's a different layer or different way we can look at our sport. It might be interesting. I've been working with my brother and some friends on marathon manager in the Netherlands 6, 8 years ago. And we started small with just Excel, and we created like you can make a profile and you can make a team, and you have like 1 million virtual money to spend. And there's like a prize on the skaters, like you see maybe in the Tour de France. And then you can do it on the marathon ice skating sport in the Netherlands. And just to engage people, and there are some nice small prizes. And we try to write some articles, also have some interaction with the people. This year they have made it even in a nicer version. But somewhere you need to have a start, how to follow the race, and somewhere you can look in 5 years what is coming out of that. So plenty of ideas how we have to create space, more diversity or more dimensions in our sport, in enhancing the future of our sport, and that we have to try to promote the sport in that way. The sport lovers that just follow inline speed skating, although it's not Olympic, but they keep coming back, keep going to the world championships, the big competitions everywhere, and keep building the product. This is a product we are now really busy with the upcoming deadline of sign in registration this Tuesday. This year we will organize a new event, the new edition of Identizing Next Gen in 2025, the 18th and 19th of October. Also, we will organize with our club in the Netherlands, just above Amsterdam, the Radboud International Tournament, already the 8th edition. Some diverse competitions. I'm part of the organization. Some upcoming camps we do. We try to make a step also to help inline skaters on the ice to find more facilities in the winter, or to have more professional circumstances to train. A trainer and a master camp is coming in the end of the month. Even training camp week 9 of ESP in Geising is coming. And yeah, we love in what we do. We try to improve in what we do. We try to share the knowledge, share the passion with a lot of athletes in a certain way. And this was last camp of the first weekend of January. We had 75 participants, and it was amazing 4 days. Big days, but amazing. And then the question to all of you is like, yeah, how do you contribute in increasing the value of our sport? Because that's why what we want to do is like promoting with inline skating promotion, our sport. So yeah, we keep doing in what we can do, and we are wondering in people who can help in creating the value, and yeah, we try to keep going. And I got now a position in Arena Geising, and some big races are coming up. And yeah, we keep going. And as our hashtags are mentioning, rolling together, synergy on skates, unified by skating, and then an underlining of creating value to inline speed skating.